First date,
Every first
I kind of just want to walk up, say hi, make out. If it sucks, I'm out. Like, I'm not wasting a whole fucking night on you.
Welcome back, everyone, to Miller Uncensored episode 12.
We're on episode 12?
Yeah.
I was supposed to be here weeks ago.
I know, right? This is our second guest,
Hi,
Kristen.
AKA Muscle Mommy, apparently.
Muscle Mommy.
Oh, we got an applause for that.
So our relationship, I met Kristen years ago at a local watering hole. If you know me or her, you'll probably be able to figure out real easy which one it is. We won't use
We
names.
don't want to use the name because I don't want any stalkers.
Yeah, too late.
If you can find me, well, then you deserve to stalk me.
You're already too late. You were so stalked after this. It's over. One thing that we all love to discuss when we're sitting and talking and hanging out is crazy bar restaurant stories. And if you've ever been in the industry, you're certainly privy to some very interesting people. People are interesting anyway, but let's just go ahead and pile on a shitload of booze and see what happens. And then that's where we end up. So we've all seen a bunch of crazy shit. There was crazy shit last night.
There's always crazy shit. And if you know where I work, well, you know there's always crazy shit. I don't know that I've gone one day. I've worked there we're nearing 5 years, and there has not been one day I have not gone to work where something has not gone down. And we're getting close to a full moon. I did notice that last night, so I'm pretty sure, I don't know if we can look that up, but it's either going to be tonight or tomorrow, the full moon.
Well, and I think, too, we all know this, that it's really dangerous when you're going on a Sunday into a full moon. Because Sunday has essence of full moonness every Sunday.
Correct. You know, Mia, one of our other regulars, we were talking about this last night. She said, you know what it is, Kristen? Because all normal people have to work on Monday.
Yeah.
So they're in bed. It's all the abnormal or degenerates. I'm not really sure if I would call them degenerates.
I don't know if there's a better word than just odd or weird.
Don't work on Monday, so they're out on Sunday.
It's a different group of people. It's a different group of people in a restaurant. It's a different group of people at the bar. Just really strange, odd requests. Like, do you have polish for the balls on the pool table? What the fuck are you talking about? What?
No,
yeah, every other place I play pool, they have polish for the balls, and I polish my balls before I play.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that request yet, but
That's a wild one. I've never even heard of that.
I made that shit up.
It's like the weed eater line wax.
Exactly.
you might have just given someone an idea, though. Now.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't had that asked either, but it's that kind of bullshit. So it's not like angry, it's not rude, it's not mean.
Oh, last night it was angry, very angry.
Yeah, well,
like
that
took
bitch,
me
that bitch
to
was
a
crazy.
level
That was
almost.
a crazy bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
Why don't we dive into that?
I mean, like for real. They walked in. I'm having a nice conversation, and I hear some girl screaming like she's dying at the other end of the bar, but not like wanting anything. She's just being loud.
Screaming.
Not, yeah.
And then Becca was like, it kind of sounds like a baby.
So obviously these girls have been drinking. We tend to be like the last stop on everyone's way home. So we also have that going for us.
Yeah, neighborhood bar.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had to walk down, and it's funny because I did watch back the video. You should see me. I was like, you need to tone it down. Like, you can't hear the video, but you can see my hand moving, and she didn't want any part of that. She told me no, actually, if you can believe that.
Yeah,
and I had to remind her, yes, we're at my place of work, not your house. So walked away, and then I proceeded to ignore him for a little bit because I wasn't going to serve them. They were a little drunk. They were chatting with some of the other regulars. And when I went back down, the other one, she is the one that got me on a level.
Can you demonstrate what you demonstrated to us?
Yeah.
Can you give me
She said, could we get, and I stopped her. I was like, are you ladies sure you need anything else to drink? Or I don't think you ladies need anything else to drink. That's what I said. And she literally, I didn't know people still did this. Hold on, I might need to move this. She did the full, you aren't gonna fucking serve me. I was a little taken back by that neck move.
Yeah. I can't even get my neck to do that.
Yeah, I had to practice. And yeah, I said, no, I'm not. And she didn't like that answer. And what people don't seem to realize is I'm the boss in this situation. There's not going to be any winning for you. So just stop while you're ahead because it could go bad quickly.
Yeah, don't bring more angry energy to the situation because that's not going to add up to shit.
And I can usually keep my composure pretty well. Like kill them with kindness or condescending tones always really gets them too. But yeah, she was asking me if I was the owner. And I said, yeah, maybe I am. Like, and walked away.
As far as you're concerned, tonight and right now, in this moment, I own this place.
Yeah, like.
In order for you to get a drink, you have to go through the owner. That's me.
So I walked away. 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, she's still sitting down there. So I was like, I'm pretty sure I asked you guys to leave. And she didn't like that either. She said, why? I said, because I don't like you and I'm not going to serve you. And she's like, do you own this place? And I said, yes, I do. So, and then she told me she didn't believe me. Imagine that. And I said, well, you know what? I really don't care what you believe. You still need to leave.
I always think it's great in bars. I think I've been cut off 3 times, maybe 4 times in my life. And on all 4 occasions, what I remember of them was normally in a bar that I frequently drink at. So it wasn't like I was just at some random bar and they were like, okay, you're done. It's normally been like, I'm doing you a favor. You shouldn't drink anymore. Like I've seen you drink enough and I've seen you drink it multiple times and they're like, yeah, you're done. Yeah. And in all 4 occasions, I do remember having the lucidity in my brain to go, I've been drinking here 3 years and it's never happened. And someone that bartends for me is telling me to stop drinking, who makes money off giving me drinks.
Right.
You know, I'm just going to listen. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to, yeah. How about a water? Sounds good, Mark. Not, fuck you. I'm not drunk, bitch. No one tells me what to fucking do.
Well, I
mean,
will say
the sober person's the bartender. I didn't have 19 Jack and Cokes.
Yeah, your tab
you
says
did.
you did. And I may have even forgotten to ring one in.
I mean, that's the thing is like most bartenders, not all, but most are sober.
Yeah.
You know, most
well,
are like,
I absolutely
you are sober.
Sober every day.
I mean, you're not drunk on the other side of the bar.
Right.
Let alone behind the bar. So like that person knows. And once you get past like 4 drinks, you being the counter of the drinks kind of goes bye-bye.
Right.
Like,
I just had 3. And actually you had 2 when you get pulled over because everyone's only ever had 2.
I just had I only had a drink.
Right.
Sir, we have you at the restaurant for 7 hours. You had 1 drink while you were there? I struggle with that. That's hard to believe. So, I mean, trust the sober person, I have always thought, you know?
Yeah.
Especially the one that makes money off selling you more booze.
Yeah.
If they're saying no more booze, like they're worried about you, maybe, hopefully, they're definitely worried about them and they're worried about the place they work at.
I think that's the most frustrating thing people don't get. Like, she may have been maybe the 3rd person ever that I didn't serve, like straight out of walking in.
Yeah, she just rolled in and you immediately were like,
I was like,
energy,
no,
bad,
not doing it. Because, this is my job on the line. Everybody else that works here's job on the line. You could go kill somebody who didn't ask to be, part of the situation.
At all.
And, like, I'm not going to be part of that. And if you don't like it, well, then go somewhere else. I don't care. Like, that's just kind of, it's a very touchy situation. It is hard to cut people off. We have a lot of servers that, they're very uncomfortable doing it, so they'll just keep serving.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's you can make it a little more comfortable, I guess. Just it's the way you approach it. And here's the thing, you have to be in charge. Like you can't let them manipulate you into thinking.
Well, it's like, I'll continue being nice. I'll continue some water. I'll continue doing a lot of things, like, and I love like, hey, can I get you a ride home? Like, we'll buy it.
Right,
Like,
right.
what a nice gesture. That's not in the alcohol handbook. It never has been, but it's a really nice gesture to be like,
Yeah, and by the
I'll
way,
put you in an
people, if
Uber.
you do drink, like, why are you not taking an Uber? I mean, that is like the dumbest thing ever, especially if someone's offering it to you. Back in the day when you had to call the yellow cab.
Yeah.
All right, we're aging ourselves, but okay, yeah.
Yeah, there was a little more involved. Now,
yeah.
the phone app, from here to the bar or back, on the rare occasion that I take an Uber, because I don't ever drink that much.
Right.
I mean, maybe twice a week. I'm just saying. But the rare occasion, last Uber I took was on a morning to get back to the cafe to get my car. Oops, no names. Was $5.98.
Right. Or would you rather have a
And the DUI is a
$10,000
year without a license and 11 to 15,000.
ridiculous?
Nope.
Ridiculous.
No, I'm going to take the Uber. The Uber's good. Or luckily enough, I have my wonderful
And everyone,
Uber
nobody's
driver with us
everyone.
today.
This is everybody's answer. I only live like 5 blocks away, or I live just down the road. Okay, I'm going to say statistically speaking, most people get pulled over within a mile of their house. So,
and most traffic accidents occur within 2 miles of your home
so yeah,
by the statistics.
let's just be safe out there.
So why don't you tell me like you live in Apache Junction? Like that's a better argument.
I
'cause,
live
like,
in Tucson, and the Uber is going to cost me $300.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, maybe we'll get you a hotel room.
Yeah, that'll be cheaper. The La Quinta's right down the road. It's cool.
Let's easy on the location. Oh, there's
lots of
plenty.
La Quintas.
Okay.
The Apache Junction one. That's the one we're talking about.
Yeah. So, but drunk people, they don't even have to be drunk though. We just get crazies, like crazies, or people who don't know how to act out in public, which is a whole nother group.
Yeah, I mean, going into that, what do you think, off the top of your head, is like the craziest bar story you have? Besides
God.
last night's. And
Well, last
night's
night's was pretty
crazy.
mellow, actually.
Oh God. Oh God.
I will say one of our regulars was sitting down there and she was like, "Oh God," when she heard me get mad. She says, "I don't think I've ever seen you mad." I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't happen often, but that one got me." I think it was the neck roll.
The neck
Like,
roll is
she did not
kinda-
just do that to me.
Yeah, that kind of was like, that was like.
By the way, that went out of style years ago.
That's like 90s shit. That was like, oh no, you didn't.
Right. Like
no.
she was like,
Yeah, the 3 snaps.
Martin,
Yeah, what was it? 3
Shanae.
snaps?
Yeah, I don't know, but it was pretty funny actually.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much like that.
Yeah.
Or like talk to the hand. What was that? Like a 2000s thing?
Yeah. That would have been funny if she did.
Yeah.
That. Let me think. Craziest story.
But like I think crazy people that okay, you drink a lot in our bar and you get really shit-faced wasted and it causes problems for us. So why don't we slow you down? Why don't we just make a deal where you can come in and you can maybe only drink X or Y or Z. And all of a sudden they're sneaking out to suck down a couple minis in their car.
Yeah, like,
or going
do
to the
you need
bathroom
drink
to
that
like
much?
have a couple like I still want to go there and I still want to do shots, but they told me I can't, so I'm gonna have to have it in my car. So I got to go out to my car, then I got to go to the bathroom. Like,
It's a lot.
Well, that kind of makes sense. What do you mean?
well, that's the whole point.
Well, like
Well-
staying lit while like you can't get drinks, so you just
But the reason you are not getting shots is because you can't act right. So you're still defeating the purpose of why.
They don't want to sell you the booze.
yeah.
Like you fucking drink hard alcohol and you go from 0 to a million in about a second.
Yeah.
Some people can't handle that shit. Okay, so the show Landman. I told you to watch Landman. Have you watched any
Yeah.
Landman? Okay,
No, I
I told you to
haven't.
watch it. Billy Bob Thornton. He's at the bar. It's the awesome scene. It's one of the things I saw on Instagram, and he's like, "So man, you want something to drink?" Billy Bob's like, "Yeah, give me a." He goes, "No man, I quit drinking, but give me a Mick Ultra." And he's like, and the guy's like, "Okay, buddy, I'll give you a Mick Ultra, but just so you know, like there's." There's alcohol, Mick Ultra. He's like, there's about as much fucking alcohol in this Mick Ultra as orange juice. So shut the fuck up and give me my beer. And the guy's like, look, buddy, cool, like whatever you want to say. He's like, it's all the same. It's all alcohol. I quit drinking 6 years ago too. Like it's all the same. He goes, I'll fucking tell you what. He's like, I'm gonna sit here and drink 6 Mick Ultras. Tomorrow I'm gonna come back and drink 6 whiskeys. and you fucking tell me which one's different.
Touche.
Yeah, I mean, they're just different.
Right. Yeah.
Rumplemints is different than tequila, is different than whiskey. And then
Not
all the different
everyone can
proofs.
handle the Rumplemints.
The Rumplemints is, for most people, like one. And then they make them steak. Ooh, that's good. Ooh, it warms my whole body. I should have another one.
And my breath tastes.
Yeah, my
Smells
breath is
good.
fresh.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny. I saw.
3 hours later, you are yelling at that toilet.
Yeah, I saw a Instagram reel. I guess they're called. I'm not real social media savvy.
You are showing your savvy
Yeah.
medianess.
And it was a guy that went into a bar and he was like, I don't drink a whole lot. So could you recommend something to me? Oh, that's a whole nother situation we're going to talk about. But anyways.
That's a good segue because I'm like, oh, there's a hot button. What should I get?
Right. But he was like, I got an idea. How about I give you a Rumplemints? To the guy that never drinks. It was actually, I totally thought of you. But
That's
yeah.
a bad start.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink much. What should I have? Just getting like a Rumple and a Budweiser. You'll be fine.
You know my favorite answer, Mark. What do you like? The Blue Dolphin. For those of you who don't know, it's water. So when you come to my bar and ask me what I want to drink, I'm going to tell you that, and that's what you're going to get.
I'll take a Blue Dolphin.
Yeah, that happened last night too. It's been a rough weekend. I'm not going to lie. I've worked a shit ton. And my schedule's already pretty taxing, we'll say. The older I get, the harder it gets. And yeah, we had an event this weekend, and I worked a lot, and I'm still on my 6-day stretch. Actually, when I leave here, I'm going back for tonight and then opening tomorrow, the good old Clopen. We love those.
Oh.
So yeah, by tomorrow afternoon, you should really come see me. I might be on level 20.
I normally am not in there
Yeah.
on a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of like, like Shrek, I'm a donkey on the edge. Like it's not good.
Yeah. So I pray for all those who come in tomorrow afternoon. Actually, I've been taking the past few Tuesdays off. So
you're going to get the kinder, sweeter, Kristen? Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes I actually surprise myself and I do get nicer for some reason. Like last night, I actually wasn't in that bad of a mood, I don't think. But just the stupidity of people can like set me off quick. My, what's the word I'm looking for? My button.
Tolerance?
Yeah. Like fuse is very short.
Fuse and tolerance. But I think what's interesting about you is you're not a drinker. You rarely, if ever, even have a drink. Okay, like I've always been drinking since I was, relatively close to my legal age of drinking and whatnot. 12, 13, whatever. Don't judge me. And so
back in the day,
that's just how it was.
Legal limit.
You're stealing booze at like 13.
Right.
So, like, I know where these people are at. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. And you get it. Not saying you don't get it, but like you don't understand it as well just because you don't drink as much.
I'm not on the level.
So you would think you would like be like way less tolerant, just so pissed because people that are just messed up. I mean, guys, if they're like a creeper level 1, pile on the Rumplemints. They can go to like a 7.
Yeah.
Their creeper level goes out like, oh, I like when you bend over. Like, dude, you would never say that sober.
Right.
You would never say that,
Might,
Well, I'm just saying,
right.
like it levels.
A creeper
Girl,
might.
yeah. But I'm saying, like, as a man, we're all at a 1.
Right. Okay.
Okay, like
You're thinking it, but you're not expressing it.
Kristen, there is no man out there that is less than a 1 creeper. 1 to 10.
Okay.
Okay, like every man is a creeper. Any man who is of man age, there's a creeper in all of us.
Okay.
Now, most of us are pretty good. We suppress our creeper, or we just aren't creepy. So it stays between like a 1 and a 3. But you're with some buddies and pile on a bunch of booze, and there's a cute bartender. You might creep all the way up to like a 6 or 7. It could happen.
Right.
Okay, a girl who's like a little bitchy, a little snarky, throw on a couple dirty martinis.
She's ready
total
to box.
fucking bitch.
Yeah.
like
Gloves off.
whatever your thing is, throw in the booze and all those inhibitions drop and you become the better part or the worser part of that side of your personality. Just the reality of it.
So yeah, with me, what you see is what you get all the time. I mean, however, I am a Gemini. My birthday's next Tuesday. If you want to get me something, I'm more than happy to receive it. But
Write comments to the show, and we'll make sure we
yeah,
get the
I will
item
take
to you.
anything. Except I don't want any like underwear or anything creepy. Okay, so keep your creeper to yourself.
Stay at a 1.
Stay at a 1, people. I like to work out. That's all. Anything with that. No. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I'm a Gemini, so I do have 2 personalities. And yeah, definitely the evil one came out last night. I actually apologized to these other girls. So I'm like, sorry you saw the evil twin come out. She's like, no, it was warranted. Like that girl was a little off her rocker. I was like, okay, good. But yeah, there was that other woman that came in and, the kitchen's closing in 10 minutes. So I already know they're throwing pans back there when I start to ring in an order. I'm like fighting for my life when I go to pick up the food because they're so pissed off at me. But so I'm trying to get them to hurry it along, and she's looking through the menu and doesn't know what she wants and asks, what's good on the menu? Okay, please don't ask that question in any restaurant ever. Everyone's answer is going to be everything. I mean, like, are we really going to say,
I work here.
Our food is shitty, you probably shouldn't eat? No,
this place
we're not.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't get anything
So
here.
then, I'm like, well, pretty much everything, the standard answer. And then she's
What do you like?
What do you like?
I don't know.
Okay, now with me, unfortunately, I'm very honest. I'm like, I don't eat meat, so I'm kind of the worst one to ask. I could totally lie, and then if they hate it, I mean, maybe I should go that approach. I don't know. But, when I'm already fused, like ready to ignite,
Yeah, we're getting close.
she asked me what I recommended, and I walked away and wanted to say, I recommend that you leave. I don't know, because at this point, they're pissed off at me. You're going to take 10 more minutes. And now they're really pissed off at me.
If people walk in and they go, are you guys still serving? Yeah, well, we close at 9, but you guys can order something. Just do me a favor and take the menu and real quick, like
Make
fire
it
it in.
snappy.
I mean, a normal person would look at it and be like, for instance, someone would look at it and go, babe, what do you want? We'll get a salad and get like a pizza. Okay, we'll have a Caesar salad and like a 10-inch pep. Good? Great, put both those in whenever they come out. Actually, we'll get them to go because I know you guys are shutting down. You're my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, you get it.
Yeah.
Like, you totally understand it. But like, yeah, we're still serving. Great, we're going to go ahead and sit down. Can we get a couple glasses of wine? And then we're going to look it over and then we'll let you know. No, that's not what I fucking said.
Yeah.
I said we close at 9. And yes, we can serve you till 9. Now, if you say, give me a couple glasses of wine, here's our pizza, here's our salad, here's my card, charge it, let the server go home once we get our food, and fucking we'll be good on our own. We just want to scarf down a meal real quick. No problem.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah, and we're open later.
But it's like they come in knowing that it's shitty, and then the minute you okay it...
Yeah, we're not staying open until 11:30 for you, sir.
The minute you okay it, it's like, oh, well, now I'm going to go back to being like, oh, I have 4 hours to dine.
Yeah.
It's like, accept the being cool with be cool.
Yeah.
Like, return the coolness.
Then there's the flip side, because, I don't ever want to be that person. Trust me, I've worked out and been like, oh my God, I'm starving. I want to go eat. Gone to, where some of these Generation Z, is that what they're called? Gen Z.
Yeah.
Shut up, Markie. Because they work at most of these fast, like Kava.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Kava. I'm putting you on blast right now. I won't tell you which one, but I am going to put you on blast. Like, I eat fairly healthy. I love their food. I go in there. They close at 10 o'clock. It is 9:20. In my world, that's 40 minutes. Like, people are going to come in the next 40 minutes.
In a place like that, it's a 30-minute dining experience, if that.
You might not want to run out of everything. I go up there, like, no, we don't have any chicken. I'm like, okay, well, when are you going to? Well, we're closing at 10. I'm like,
when are you going to?
It doesn't take 40 minutes to cook chicken. I'm pretty sure you just got to warm it up because I'm pretty sure it's already, prepped at some point. Like, no, you just ruined my whole night, and now I'm starving until tomorrow.
Yeah, you
Because
suck.
I'm not going to eat fast food.
9:20 for a 10 o'clock close. Cook me a breast.
Yeah.
Cook that shit. If it's raw, it'll take 8 minutes. Do it.
It's happened twice at the same Kava. I'm surprised I still go there.
So Ed, my brother, was at a restaurant. I won't mention them, and their pizza's actually really good, and the place is cool. But he was there the other night, and they got there at 8:30. They were closing at 9. They figured they'd walk right in, but they didn't. There was a bit of a wait. So like, okay, we'll put our name in. Can we put our name in? And the girl was like, yeah, cool, totally. You know, we only have a couple names ahead of you. And they went out on the like front step and just kind of hung out. And about 5 minutes later, the guy comes out and he's like, are you really putting your name in? Like the manager or bartender. And they're like, yeah, that she said we could. He's like, there's no way we're going to make it to you by 9 o'clock. Like you're not going to get seated before 9 o'clock. And then they were like, well, is that okay? Like you took our name, like you're saying you'll seat us. Like if I'm on a wait, now if I've got 100 names and it's 8:30, that's different.
Right.
But if I've got like 3 names.
You have had no orders in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's a little different. But like you're on a wait, you're still cooking food. The place is it's packed. You're in full gear. So like,
buddy, you're here late tonight.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Anyway, why would you ever turn away that business? You'd be like, yeah, we'll seat you at 9 o'clock. And I'm going to be here for another hour and a half, 2 hours anyway, cleaning this shit up. So, I mean, they were like, and Ed was like, well, do you want us to leave? He's like, well, I'm not saying you should leave. He's just, there's no way we're going to get you in. He's like, which is it, buddy?
Oh, right.
Which fucking answer is it?
And I can totally see Ed's face right now.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm so confused. Like trying not to get pissed, but also being like,
we weren't expecting to leave at 9, just so you know. So yeah, we're okay if you don't get us in right at 9.
Yeah. Also, it would be so awesome if like it got to be 9 o'clock and they came out and they're like, it's 9. We're not gonna be able to get you in after you waited a half hour.
Right. Well, Talon and I went to breakfast, and I think they closed at 2:30. It was like 2 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, we're pushing it, but we already know what we want. Like, I know what I want. We'll order the second we sit down. And there were still people in there, obviously. And I think we were like ordered out before like 4 tables were still left in there. You know what I mean? Like we know what's up. Like, and so for those of you who don't work in this industry, just take note. Yeah, these are little irritants.
Yeah, they are.
Like, I feel like this is common sense, but I now call it uncommon sense because not many people have it.
Well, I mean, common sense, the thing about it is it's just not common.
Yeah, so we call it uncommon
it's just senseless.
It's ridiculous.
But the whole thing is like, be cool. Like, understand. It's like it's a social gratuity. It's a social gesture. It's just societal where you like go, oh, I get it. They want to go home.
Do you want me to come to your office job and sit there for another 45 minutes while you're done working?
Yeah.
Just so I mean, like but for real, like take cues, read the room, people, read the room.
Know your audience.
If you're the last person in there and the lights are all off and the TVs are off and we're just standing there like, doo-doo-doo, yeah, maybe time to go. Take it elsewhere.
Get out. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I can't.
I'm not getting you.
I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm not? All right. So, but it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And my whole thing is like, I've done it. Like I've been sitting at the bar and all of a sudden the bar stools are up around me and I didn't even notice.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, we gotta get out of here. I'm the asshole. I just became the asshole and I didn't know it. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, you guys.
I had one too many
I was like,
rumblements.
yeah, I had a couple rumblements.
I need an Uber.
And I'm into the person I'm talking to and we're just like,
well, that happened last, what night was it? Saturday night.
And literally like I was like, I'm that, yes. And they all laughed. They were like, and that gave me like the street cred. They were like cool after that.
At least he acknowledged.
Because they were like,
okay.
I'm like, I'm fucking out. I'm so
He'll
sorry.
never do that again.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, actually, Saturday night when I bartended, I looked at I don't know if I want to say names, but whatever. The person bartending with me, I was like, you think they're on a first date? And she's like, yeah. Oh, she's like, I don't know, really. And I was like, I feel for first date vibes for sure. I could kind of overhear what they were talking about. It didn't really sound like they knew each other too well. And now it's like 220. They still have like 3/4 of a Guinness each. A Guinness. This isn't a poundable beer. Well, I guess it is if you're in Scotland. Yeah. Ireland? Where is it?
Ireland.
European something or other. No, anyways. And they had already had a couple anyways. So like the girl's probably just trying to like look cool in front of the guy. I don't know. But she looked at me. She's like, oh my God, it's like 2:20. I didn't even know it was this late. And I was like, yeah, I have to pull your beers like 5 minutes ago, but I'll give you like 2 minutes. Drink it or... And they proceeded to kind of like go back and forth. I'm like, 30 seconds. Like, yeah, we're not going to talk about it for the next 2 minutes. Like, if we're going to, she's like, I don't want to waste it, but I have beer at my house. Okay, ladies, first of all, this is bringing me to my next subject. She took the guy home to her house. This was the first. Oh, he went to the bathroom. She's like, we're on our first date. I didn't realize it was this late. And I was like, oh, yeah, I figured you were. And she's like, how'd you know? I'm like, I've done this a long time. I can kind of just tell. She's like, but it didn't look like a bad first date, right? And I was like, no. I mean, you guys look like you're having a good time. He doesn't look creepy.
You're going home together.
Well, at that point, I don't think she had said that. But then when I heard her say, yeah, we can go back to my place. It's going to smell like the sewer. She did say that. I did overhear her say I'm not really sure. I'm not real sure why she said that. Maybe I don't know what was wrong with her place.
Well,
I didn't get the background story, but she's like, yeah, I have beer at my spot. So, but I looked at the other bartender and I was like, I don't know. I don't know how safe that is. He could be a killer, but he paid, right? And she's like, yeah. I go, okay. Well, at least we have the guy's name if we hear of any like murders happening in North Scottsdale. I didn't. I'm saying like this is their first date. You don't ever, do not, ladies, young ladies. I was that girl. I look back and be like, I'm surprised I'm alive. Like legit, that I have put myself in some positions like, holy hell, I didn't know that person. Like I went to some guy's hotel or went to like nobody freaking knew where I was.
Well, there's those people that.
Yeah.
They
I never
go home with the wrong person.
I never bring anyone back to my place. Like never, ever, ever. Just unless I know you like well. But no, I don't. I would well in no long well like yes, if I not on the first date anymore. I've learned my lesson. But yes.
I quit doing that at least 6 or 7 months ago.
I would say yes if we're like hanging out and like taking it out, taking it past the night. I would go to his house.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think
unless he has roommates.
Yeah, I think that's only fair though. Like, you just don't hear that much. Like, if a guy's getting stalked, I can't answer for every other guy, but like, if some girl's like stalking me, I'm kind of like feel cool about it.
Like, this is kind of, I have had a stalker.
You know what I mean? Like,
stalker.
but I think for women, it's so much different because you introduce the fear. Obviously most men are more powerful than women just physically. Right. And it's like, you're in a vulnerable situation, So I think that for a woman, it would probably take me a while to be like, yeah, why don't you come to my place?
Yeah. More so than physically, like mentally, somebody who's spending that much energy into like stalking you. Like I did have a stalker. It was freaking ridiculous.
I remember. Was that when we talked about it at the bar?
Yeah, like it was years ago. But like
that was pretty deep stalker wise.
Yeah, like he knew where I was everywhere. He would leave shit on my car. It didn't matter. I lived in Gilbert. I worked in North Scottsdale. Like he always knew where I was. And I didn't know.
No.
I did not know who it was. And actually he found me on Facebook. Yeah, and I had posted, this is why I don't post a whole lot of like where I'm at or where I work or people know where I work, but like I posted that I was doing lunges up a mountain and he legit was at the top of a mountain. And like he would send me like songs on Facebook Messenger, like the song from the Never Ending Story.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're getting real creepy now.
And then he
Isn't
would
the
like,
Never Ending
and then
Story where the kid flies around on like
a big dog or something.
Big dragon dog.
He was like a Saint Bernard.
Yeah. I don't even really.
But he flew.
And like would send me like, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever met. I'm like, I've never met you.
Okay. Start there.
But like, and then I would like delete him and he would do a new profile and like somehow message me. And it was just bizarre. But yeah, when he did that night, it just so happened there was a ASU game. It was a Thursday night. So there were cops everywhere. And when he did it, he had like a hoodie on. So I couldn't really tell what he looked like. And I was afraid to go back down I waited till it was like dark. But I was like, okay, there's cops everywhere, like whatever. He had said, he like stepped out in front of me and he was like, oh, you're even more beautiful in person. I'm like, what? Like not knowing it's the guy from Facebook, obviously. He's like, I've been trying to get a hold of you on social media. And I was like, my heart just like fell into my stomach. And I was like,
I mean, it's a violation. You know what I mean? Like, we live our lives and we live in our worlds. I mean, and our world is going from my place to my car, and then my car to work, and then my work to where I go out, or then to the grocery store. Like, you're still so alone so much of that time that it's kind of like an intimate space. And that behavior really puts someone in that space, like is walking in like your footsteps,
Yeah.
either ahead of you or behind you. Like, they're in it, and you don't normally have another person in it unless you've already invited a person in. But what I mean is, like, to know that you went from those 5 places, and then that person knows that you went to all those 5 places.
Yeah.
They're watching you.
Yeah, it's creepy.
That is
I
scary.
didn't want to be at home. I was like,
Like,
I don't
where
want
is
to
safe?
leave.
Like, where's
well,
safe?
and I call the cops. They're like, well, you don't know who it is, so we can't really do anything. I'm like, okay, so when I die, you can do something.
Thank
like,
you. Posthumously, it'd be great to know that you got him. That's great. Yeah, I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
But like, my point to all this was like, yeah, ladies, you just don't know who you're dealing with. And like, if I was a predator thinking on a common sense level, me as a person thinking on a common sense level, like online dating would be like the prime space to like go get them.
Yeah.
I mean, you got your pick of whoever you want, and online you can be whoever you want. Sure, he could look like his pictures, but that doesn't mean he's everything he said he is. And I
It's
get
not even
it.
his
Like
name.
that's the only way we all kind of like meet these days. I mean, back in the day, if you told someone you met it online, they'd be like, "Are you crazy?"
Yeah.
Like, do you remember when online dating
No, that
was
was
the
like
first thing?
straight up like creepy
Yeah, you do.
pedophile like
Yeah.
stuff.
taboo.
Yeah. Now, like, if you tell someone you met someone in the grocery store out, they'd be like, "What?
Creeper.
Organically? This happened organically? What are you talking about?"
Oh, it's a girl I work with? Oh, creepy.
Right?
And that's how like 80% of marriages start from relationships that began at work
Yeah,
or related
that's how mine
to
was, yeah.
work. Like, you know a girl that you work with and you met a guy through that girl,
Right.
a friend of her boyfriend's. 80%.
Even this day and age?
Yeah. I think it's still more. I think most of that online is like hookup. Really?
Well, yeah, you're right. Hook
I think
up. I don't know about
on-
marriage.
Yeah, I think you get very lucky online to find that one.
I'm
think
not gonna
going on
lie.
a
I've
lot of
had some
dates.
good relationships that I met online. Shockingly,
You
enough.
met some decent guys.
Actually, one of my best guy friends, past whatever we're gonna call him, who I love dearly, and we're like super tight. Yeah, met him online.
Yeah.
Like legit, never like knew this dude. Drove to California to meet him, and yeah, we kind of like hit it off. And
That's
then,
like one in a ton.
yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like I got so lucky, like so lucky.
Yeah. Most of my online shit has been garbage. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been fun and entertaining.
Entertaining.
I met a lot of girls online when I was traveling. 'cause
Most
I
of
would-
mine are
I
travelers.
would be like, yeah, I'd just be traveling and I would just be like in town. The minute you land, I'd turn it on
Well,
and I would scan through like 100 girls that were in the area that I had landed. Yeah, I would be like, I'd turn it on. I'd get on the airplane or we'd land. Hey, turn your phones on. Boom.
listen up, ladies. This is how they
This
do
is
it.
it. This is how
This
this is
is-
how creepers do it.
This is online dating 101.
I'll give you the blueprint. So I would turn it on. I'd check my email, my phone, my texts. Okay. Since I took off, nobody's looking for me because it was with work. So we're good there. And I'd be like, all right, next is, what am I doing for dinner? And it's like, all right, it's 4:00 in Naples, Florida. Well, I'm going to scan the first 100. Boom, 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 boom. Swipe right.
100. Did you actually count?
I'm just saying, it'd be about
I
that.
have counted.
It'd be about that amount till I got bored.
Okay.
That always
It's
was
that
what it would
amount
be.
until I find one cute one.
Yeah. Well, I would swipe on that 100. I would probably swipe on 10.
Okay.
Okay, 10 girls, and I'm not even reading. I'm not even reading their thing.
Right.
Like I'm just like,
Like would I want to be seen in public with this woman?
come on, Kristen. Let's be very clear. Okay, a swipe right means one thing and one thing only.
Right. She's
okay.
hot.
Okay. If I swipe on you and you swipe on me, you're both saying you're cute enough to fuck. That's it. That's literally it.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm going to.
Right. But
you-
I would.
you-
I could see
would.
getting
Like,
naked with
Yeah,
you.
I could get naked. That's if anyone tells you any fucking thing else, they're lying.
Right.
Okay, you're basically like, I would have sex with you. That's it. Okay,
Right.
and then of the 10,
That's why you need to look like your pictures, ladies.
Yeah, and men, men worse.
I've never, ever, ever met a guy that didn't look like his pictures. I hear it happens.
But you swipe on all these guys that are freaking. One of the biggest things for you is like they're already gym rats. Like they're guys that like worship their bodies. Like all the guys you swipe on, Kristen, come on.
Okay.
All the guys that
they're
you
in
swipe
shape.
on, these guys are in good shape.
Okay, maybe.
Like you see the guys you swipe
Well,
on,
yeah,
all
but
their
I could
all their
show up
pictures
and
are
they
like
could look like the
in the
marshmallow.
gym, just like jacked. Yeah, I mean they're just like look like David Goggins, dude, like savages.
David Lade.
Well,
You
yeah,
have
but
a type.
right, I could show up and they could look like
I hear
freaking
you. I hear you.
the guy from
You're right.
Austin Powers.
You're
Get
right.
in my belly.
Yeah, fucking fat bastard.
Yeah, there you go.
Ah, you're dead sexy.
I mean, like there is
my sexy
that.
body.
With the online dating that you've done, you haven't met anyone that one didn't look like
Never once. Like they've all looked like that. That yeah, I've only really had one bad date. Like one. And he just wanted to argue the whole time. I was like, yeah, I'm not about this. But yeah, so go on, Mark.
Oh.
Of the 10.
Okay, so 10, I might get 1 or 2. Okay, and then you know, of those 1 or 2 or 3 or whatever, they would be like, "Hey, I'm really not looking for a hookup. I see you're from out of town."
By the way, any girl that says I'm not looking for a
Is looking
hookup
for a
is
hookup.
absolutely down to fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There it is. It's a smokescreen. Okay, great. I respect you. Can we get through this nonsense?
Right.
I'll tell you whatever you want to hear. Let's just try to figure out if we're going to get to the finish line or not. Like, what's up?
And as a woman, just really quickly, I don't know that I go into a date being like, I am not having sex or I am having sex. I'm just going to see how it goes. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not putting any expectations on myself or this person. Like, if it happens, cool. Like, let's be real, ladies.
If
We're
it
all
works out, it
whores.
works out. Yeah, yeah. Don't you want it to go there? They all want it to go
I mean,
there.
like, we're either going to do it night 1 or night 5,
Yeah.
but it's happening.
It's happening.
If you're going to want to do it, it's happening.
You're cool.
So.
You made me laugh 3 times, and you're hot enough. All right.
And by the way, why waste a whole week if you're already going to plan on doing it? He might suck. Get it over with.
Yep.
You know my.
What do
you
you
know
say?
my.
Give everyone your
you
thing.
know
I
my
think it's a
thing.
really good, valid way to approach.
I will not
this.
date you if you're a bad kisser. Just that is a deal breaker. Period. End of
So,
story.
First
So
date.
first dates,
Every first
I kind of just want to walk up, say hi, make out. If it sucks, I'm out. Like I'm not wasting a whole fucking night on you. Okay, the older you get, time is like literally the most valuable thing you have.
Yeah.
Why waste a whole nother 8 hours with somebody you already are like, nope, not happening. Like I'm not gonna date you because you suck at kissing.
This can't go
Now
any
here,
further.
let me just be clear. You might not be a shitty kisser, but you suck at kissing with me. Like we don't have the same kissing style. So I'm not saying like I'm some, well I am, but some great, magnificent.
No, and that's fair.
Yeah.
There's some people you kiss, and you're like,
This
who
is never happening.
Who have you been kissing?
Yeah, this isn't happening. So
Like,
yeah,
you're like
I think
45 years old. How many people have
is that my phone?
I don't know, probably.
I'm probably already having stalkers, you guys. Oh, it's probably an alarm. You know what? I might need to get up
We can
for a
turn it
moment.
off. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be back.
We'll hang out. One of the things, though, like honestly, what I've learned is like, these women would then be like, "Oh, I'm really not into like a hookup or whatever," and I would, now you're texting on the app, and I would always be like, "Hey, like, I don't look. This doesn't have to be a hookup." Like, I would always be like, "I'm in town. I work for this company. Maybe you've heard of it. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and I am going to dinner tonight.
Oh.
I am going to dinner. I will eat a nice meal at a nice restaurant, no matter what. If you want to come and eat a nice meal at a nice restaurant with a nice guy that I will pay for and join me for dinner, I would love to have company. We'll drive separate. You can duck out the back if you're not vibing me. Do you want to have dinner or not?" And almost every one of them was like, "Okay."
That's good.
Let's go to
I'd
dinner.
probably be like, all right, yeah, I'm down with
Like, that's it. You can, I don't know where you live. You don't know where I live. I
Right.
could be lying. But you have the ability to get the hell out of there anytime you want. So you can only win.
that. Yeah, I would say most every guy I've met online doesn't live here. Every guy I dated that I have met online doesn't live here. I'm all about the long distance, like. Well, and
Yeah, but you're like the queen of like your space, and
Yeah.
you don't mind if you're like, "Hey, we had a great time.
I'll see you once a month.
We
good.
hooked up." Yeah. you know, like we have a good relationship. We
I'm
talk
a
a
lot
lot.
like a dude,
You know what I
Markie.
mean? Like, but he's coming to town. We're gonna have a great time for 4 days. But then if I don't see him for a month, we're still good. Like
Yeah, yeah.
we're still hanging out. We're still close.
Yeah, but I would say, yeah, most of the guys I'm attracted, and it's funny because I'll be swiping and I'll be like, well, he doesn't live here, guaranteed. Sure enough, nope, doesn't
Nope.
live here. I've gone through all the dudes here. I'm over him. I'm kidding. No,
You've
no,
actually recycled a few that they were. You were like,
I always kind of go back.
wait a
and forth.
minute.
Oh yeah, I'm the queen of not remembering.
These
And
poor
then-
guys. They're
Oh,
like, yeah,
God.
we went out before.
I do seem like a whore too.
And
I
she-
haven't slept with all of them, maybe one or two, but and have not remembered for real.
That's wild. So you'll just be like, you're cute, and then like go back.
Well, like yeah, I'll like match with them again, and I'll be like, yeah, we talked before. I'm like, we did. Yeah, I'm just super honest, and I could pretend, but then like then I'd have to like keep up some act of
Yeah,
I
bullshit
remember
lie.
you,
Now you gotta
and
make
I
up more
don't
shit.
remember you, and clearly this didn't work the first time, so maybe that's already a red flag, and I don't remember you, so there's two.
That's wild.
Or you know, maybe
Or
it was
maybe I'm
really
just really
shitty,
memorable.
and now you're different, and you're
Yeah.
cool, and you weren't before.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. When I got divorced, I went a little crazy there for a little bit.
You hoed around a little bit.
Yeah.
I think everybody does.
Yeah, I think that's normal.
I think you have.
That was your hypothesis.
Well, no, I mean the thing is, like you need to go out there and make sure you're still hot and you got it.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of go through it and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm
I'm
good.
way hotter now.
I'm just saying.
My ex-husband, when he saw me last year, was like, Jesus,
He was like, fuck.
why y'all hot now? I was like, I was hot then too, but you're right, I'm way hotter now.
But I think everyone does that. It's a
Yeah.
natural thing.
It's a girl thing for sure. When we break up, we're like, oh, I'll show him. I'm going to go to the gym and lose 20 pounds and look so damn good.
It's not just a girl thing. Every
really?
guy goes
Okay.
on the divorce diet too.
Okay.
Every guy. I mean, you're like,
Are you trying to like show us that you're...
I gotta get my shit together.
Because typically the
Yeah,
divorce
there's
is
some of that.
initiated by the man. So are they like, I'm going to show her,
I
I'm
think
going
it's
to even
both. I think the
push
person
the
that-
knife in further and twist it?
Some divorces are amicable. They're sit. Some is the woman. Some is the man. I think the person that gets quote unquote, I would use the term kick to the curb. You know, I think that's normally the person that's going to put more effort into
Right.
getting their shit together. Because let's be honest, most marriages that end in that manner, there's already another person. You know what I mean? Like most people don't get divorced just because they're not super happy.
Right.
Normally they're not
checked out.
They're checked out. They're not real happy, but things are going okay, and throw in some kids, throw in some shit, and it's easier to stay together until that person comes along that tickles your fancy, and you go, wait a minute, I haven't felt like this in a while. I'm kind of interested, and then all of a sudden you start talking. All of a sudden it gets serious. And then that person gets kicked to the curb.
wonder
So
if
there
that's-
is that moment where you go, I better get my shit together because I'm rejected. So I need to find if I still have it or not.
Right. I wonder if that's why people are swingers. So they always have that little butterfly feeling.
Maybe. I just could never been a swinger though. But I could never be a swinger.
Oh God, no.
Like I could. Here's what I could do. I could be like,
Sister wives?
yes,
I knew you were gonna say that.
yeah. I would like.
I could have 10 wives and me, but
I would like
no
to
other
be
men.
like, I want to sleep with all my wife's friends, but she can't do anything.
Okay, so you know what I find very interesting about swingers? And I mean, if there's any swingers watching this and I'm wrong, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, good for those
Leave
people
it in
that
the
can
comments.
stay in love.
I don't judge anyone. Like, do what you got to do. But what I have found is most swingers that I hear about, it's really like the dude is really more interested in watching his wife be with another guy. Like, I haven't really heard of
Yeah, that's the
the
cuckold
dudes
thing,
really
the whole
hooking
cuckold thing.
up. I'm sure it happens, but I would say like the real big like appeal is watching their wife with somebody else, which is kind of weird to me.
Yeah, I don't. That would do. I would be like, no.
No.
I think a lot of swingers too. Inevitably, we don't hear about it. Those relationships end. I think
like
that,
the marriages end?
yeah,
You
a
do?
lot of those marriages end.
Okay.
Because people go into it with best intentions, but now you've seen it, now you've done it. And normally, one group of the swingers, I had a good friend that they were swinging with two different couples. And then all of a sudden, the guy started seeing the girl that they were swapping with on the side without everyone
Right.
knowing. And it blew up. Their marriage blew up because they they, kind of fell in love. And it's like, it's new, it's exciting. I mean, what new sexual partner is not exciting? If
Right.
you're into them, it's exciting. It's new. You're learning all the shit, you haven't done everything yet, you're figuring each other out. That's exciting. And you can't, it's hard to, it takes a hell of a willpower for someone to stop that. For someone to go, I'm super excited, but this is going to be bad for my marriage.
Right.
You know what I mean? Normally you proceed with it because you can't turn it down. And then all of a sudden you're nuking the whole thing. You're blowing up. And I think that's why it's a dangerous thing to do, because you can't go back.
Yeah.
Like watching your wife sleep with another guy, you're not going to, you can't unsee it.
Yeah.
I don't
think
I don't get
could do
that either. I don't know what that is.
I would be so weirded out. I'm not gonna. I did go on a date once. I lied. I had 2 bad dates. 2 bad dates. 2 bad dates. It wasn't necessarily bad. It was just not for me. It was a good date, but he did.
Well, it was a good day because you were on it, so it had to be at least half
Right,
good.
exactly. He did say to me, so this is probably like, I don't know, halfway through. He's like, yeah, so my friends think you're really cute. And I'm like, your friends? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, well, I showed your pictures to my friends and they approve. And I'm like, thinking, what is he talking about? Actually, I've had 3 bad dates now that I think about it. They're all coming back to me now. Maybe I've just put a block on them all. But yeah. And then he said, well, here's the thing. I live in this neighborhood and we live in a cul-de-sac, and it's like I think he said like 6 couples. I don't know, some married, some not. He's like, and we all kind of like share girlfriends and boyfriends and husband and wife. And he's like, and like they approve of you. And I was like, okay. And he said, so like if so-and-so and so-and-so wanted to like have you over, they'd call me and ask me if they could borrow you for the night. I'm like, call and ask you? I was like, what about me? Like, do I have a say in any of this? What if I don't like them? Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I don't judge. Do what you got to do. But yeah, no, I'm not interested in any of this nonsense. Yeah. So, but I do have to tell you this other one because it is funny. It was right after COVID. And
Post-COVID, just don't forget the story, but post-COVID dating was wackadoo weird because you had the crazies, you had the masks, you just had so
nobody
many things.
looked like their pictures.
We better wear masks like while we're at dinner together, but then we're gonna go get naked and swap a bunch of fluids. That's okay.
Right.
But we better play by the rules here at Applebee's. Like, what are you talking about?
I don't think it was about that. I think it was about like you had to do that.
I think more.
Well,
I think people that were not attractive got a lot of dates during COVID because half.
You think the mask helped?
Oh, totally. And then they took the mask off.
Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
No,
Go.
you're good.
Oh, you are not what you look like.
Oh shit!
Who knew you could look that different with half your face covered?
Your eyes look way better than the rest of your face.
Can you pull your hair down over your face a little bit?
Oh, fuck.
Put the mask on.
That's crazy.
You look so much better with a mask.
Oh my God, we're horrible. We're going to hell. No, but yeah, I met this guy. Now, anybody that knows me knows I run on Kristen time, which is typically 10 or 15 minutes late. But so we went to Chelsea's Kitchen. He's like, I'll be on the patio. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to be a little bit late. Wink, wink. I was like probably 15 minutes late, I guess. I walk on the patio, and like literally, I'm not joking. There had to have been like 40 people on the patio, like all turn around and look at me, and I'm like, this is weird, but okay. Do I look that fucking good tonight? I must look hot. No. So I sat down. The guy's, whatever. He's like, oh, you finally made it, and I'm like, yeah. And he did not necessarily look the same as his pictures, pretty much, but he had gained a few pounds, whatever. I'm not that freaking like superficial or whatever. So like 5 minutes in, so there had been like a family, like I would say the kids were older, like my age, or maybe a little younger. So the dad was, I don't know, like in his 60s, 70s, walks over to our table and he looks at the guy and he goes, well, at least she was worth the wait. And I was like, okay. And he walked away. And I was like, what was that about? He goes, oh, everyone on the patio I was talking to, they all know that we're on our first date and you were late. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now? So like, clearly that's why everyone was looking at me when I walked in.
Told the whole patio.
And there was a couple like to our left who were married, not to each other. I mean, like I had everybody's stories. I mean, apparently this guy's a chatty one, but they were work coworkers or whatever, and they were like having an affair or something. I don't know. So they're like making out and stuff, and like not. And the guy I'm with is telling me all this because I guess he knows this. Um, I went to the bathroom and I came back, and he's sitting at their table with a picture of me from I don't remember what. I'm sure it was Bumble I was on, like my Bumble profile, and he was like, I was just wondering if they thought that you looked like your profile, and I was like, you are a weirdo.
Total wacko.
Like, what are you talking
This
about?
is first date material.
Yes, I was like, yeah,
How crazy is gonna get?
I don't even want to kiss you.
Yeah. No.
We're not even gonna find out if you're a good kisser.
That is
It was
crazy.
so weird. I was like, dude, yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm like, I gotta go soon. I'm over it.
Hey,
But
I'm
is that
coming.
weird?
I'm gonna come here late, but I'm gonna be early for my next appointment.
Yeah. Yeah. My next date's not for another hour, but I'm going to leave.
I'm gonna make sure I'm there. I
know.
want to make sure there's. I'm the 45 minutes early.
Is
if you know
that
what I'm
so
saying.
weird? But
That's
yeah,
whacked.
like,
No, that's totally whack. That's
Yeah,
not
that's-
even, that's not even just weird.
Yeah, that's creepy.
The old man got up. And
oh, I mean, like, that was the funniest because he
Yeah,
walked
she
up. He's
was
like,
worth
at
the
least
wait.
she's worth the
What,
wait.
The old guy was like creeping out over there with his kids. just
Well,
being
like, and the whole family's like
"Damn."
looking over, and I'm like, okay.
That's
Well, like if
wild.
you were at a bar and you're sitting next to someone at a bar, and one person kind of like chimed in. You started talking to him, and you were talking about, oh, it's a first
Right,
date,
but
like,
not the entire
the whole
patio.
fucking patio.
And I'm not, it was packed. Every table was full. I was like, okay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and pay for this date, and I'm bouncing like now.
Yeah.
This might have been my stalker. I still don't know what he looked like.
Dude, that is wow.
That'd be so awesome if you were like, can we get those to go?
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, and he's like, well, you do look a little different than your profile. I'm like, I don't think so because I don't use filters on my shit. Like you've seen my I am very photogenic, so I'll say that can kind of, I guess, work against me at some points.
You are very photogenic. There's no doubt.
But I was like, yeah, you've probably gained about 15 pounds too. So, oh yeah,
Oh, fuck.
you're not gonna play that game with me. I mean, I am not the chick that like I have pictures up that were 30 years ago. Well, again, I look better now, anyways. But like my point being, I look like my pictures.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I don't always like do my, you guys see me when I'm in work gear.
Yeah.
Not always like made up and blah blah blah.
No,
but
your pictures match you very well
yeah, but
compared to most people's pictures.
yeah, I was like, no. And here's the thing: a picture's never gonna look exactly like somebody.
No.
No, that day, that light, that outfit. There's
that-
something goes into it,
well,
but you can
and-
tell. Like there's
yeah.
some people that are like, the gap is a chasm. Like it's wide.
You do have the same tattoo.
Yeah, like
That could have been you.
yeah, like you had full hair and now you're bald. That didn't happen last week. Like, come on, bro.
I've seen some pictures on there that look like from the 80s. Like,
You're like,
Stop.
I'm
come
like,
on,
can
bro.
we put currents up, please?
Yeah,
Oh my
it's not
Do you
good.
do online dating, Markie?
I
Do
don't.
you Generation Zs? What do they
I
call
have not
Gen
gotten
Zs?
into online dating, but my generation.
Hinge. See, I thought that
That's more of not a hookup app, but that's more of like a.
is
more
that
like a
acts funny.
dating.
That has funny question like prompts, right?
Yeah, it's like what's your like special talent?
Yeah, I always got that confused with Grinder. When people are like, "Are you on
They're
Hinge?"
very different.
Oh well, I know.
Whoa,
Well,
whoa,
yeah,
whoa.
I know. But I'm
You might use
saying,
that one.
Markie's got a good grinder profile.
What?
well, when people be like, "Are you on Hinge?" I'm like, "No, I'm not gay," and they're like, "That's Grinder." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Well, no, I'm on neither.
Men, and then there's one that's like.
Grinder's gay men. Is it men and women?
Oh, I
or
don't
is
I
it-
know.
think it's gay men. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Grinder's just gay men. Yeah.
There's another one.
I think that's one of my coworkers is on Grinder.
Okay,
Oh, here it is. I have it.
Yeah.
he has it in his history.
That was a little too quick. wasn't it?
It's in my chat. I just looked it up because I was interested in the best.
Oh, I wonder what like I kind of feel like Christian Mingles. That's where all the creepers are.
I would probably agree with that.
There's one called Field.
Field.
Field?
That's for like. It's for like.
Well, there's also like there was one that
It's
was
for like kinks and like open-minded people.
Oh,
okay.
my God, we got to go on that.
yeah, that would be
We
fun.
need to see
Because
that.
it probably says all their shit, right? Like what they're into.
And then.
I like to learn
And
about
then
this
there's
stuff.
It's built-
Plenty of Fish. Plenty of Fish was one.
That's like one of the first ones, yeah. I think it's still going though.
Okay, no, here we go. Oh. Bumble BFF crossover is like the.
Yeah, you
the
can-
one for, like,
You can get friends. Like on Bumble now, you can look for friends.
no,
I'm
that-
not trying to meet a friend on freaking Bumble.
People that are new to town. Remember that girl Shannon I was dating for a little while? She found a bunch of friends on the friend thing.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess I
I
won't.
mean, she's a
knock
really
it.
nice person. So like,
I mean, I've had and
she
there's
was
a
like all these
business.
girls I met through her. She'd be like, "Oh, this is my." I go, "How the hell did you meet her?" And she's like, "Oh, I went on the Bumble friend thing, and we went out and had drinks one night, and then now we talk and just." She just moved to town. I just moved to town, and
Okay.
at least there was something in common. Because she was like, she had 4 or 5 friends.
There's
You know,
a-
Shannon was very like, she was a nice girl.
There is a business part of Bumble too. Now, like a business. So there's like
Like a
3
networking
different.
side?
Yeah. They're branching out. Did you know the husband and wife that created Tinder? They got divorced, and the woman started Bumble.
No kidding.
Yeah, and that's why it's the woman has to like respond first.
I think the Bumble setup in that regard
I
is
hate
good.
it.
You do?
No, it's horrible. Unless you're somebody that's like really, really looking and like on that thing like 24/7. Because if you match and you don't
it's
like
24
talk
hours.
within 24 hours, the match goes away. I look at it once every 3 weeks, so it's not good for me, you know.
Yeah, I still like, I'll go on there occasionally, but I think I'm just looking for like legitimacy. Like I
You just want the validation.
Yeah, I just
You're
looking for
hot.
validation. You know,
I
and
think
I'll
most
swipe.
most
Yeah,
girls
'cause
are on there for that.
most of the, like your first 10 pictures normally are the ones that, like if you get deep into it, like way deep into it, normally they haven't swiped you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
normally the guaranteed every time the first picture that is on there when you bring it up under people, they have swiped you.
I got to come back because I know we're like probably going over and I have to work soon. But I got to come back and we got to do some more on this. And we're gonna pull up.
Yeah,
we're gonna pull
our-
up Bumble.
Yeah, we'll pull
and
up
I'm gonna
our,
show you guys
our
what's out
profiles.
there. It is not fun.
No.
I literally have to swipe 100 times before I find one that I might find attractive.
Not okay.
And I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, but we all
Excuse
can
me.
say, and Chris, you would have to say this too at our age. Markie's age is different if he was on an app. I mean, they're not married. You know, they haven't been through the ringer. They haven't been
Yeah,
through a
we
lot
know
of shit.
what we want.
We know what we want. We also know, like, you know, a lot of people that are attracted to each other and are still attractive, really attracted, are staying married. I mean, you got to understand, you took all the people of our generation that only half of them are divorced.
Right.
So that other half is happily married or still married, whatever you want to say. So, you know, when everyone, women and men always are like, oh, all the good ones are taken. Well, a lot of the good ones are taken,
Yeah.
you know, because
And then there's
they
me
stayed together.
drowning in this fucking dating pool of ugh,
but
everyone's rejects.
yeah, exactly.
No,
It's
I
just
would
harder
go,
to find
I do
someone
not
that's
think
like
I'm.
not, a little bit fucked up. You know, it's just the way it is. And I'm part of that. I have no problem with that. Like,
Well, when I'm swiping, I'm not even gonna lie. I feel a little bit of guilt. Like, who am I to judge if this person's attractive or not? You know, like in my eyes, they're not somebody I could see myself with, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're unattractive, I guess. Just not my type.
well, no, it's not. Attracted
If you
to
have
you.
hair, pretty much you're getting a left. I am somehow always attracted to bald
Yeah,
people.
you are definitely bald guy, girl.
Yeah, it's bizarre. And I like don't look for it, but I started looking. I'm like, they're all bald.
Yeah. No.
I must like bald.
I wouldn't take you for a bald liker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
bald.
especially someone that has beautiful hair.
Yeah.
But they're all bald.
You're like,
And they
I
all
have hair. I have enough beautiful hair for both
right.
of us.
They're all bald and they all have good teeth.
And good teeth.
The teeth thing. That's what I told your brother.
That's a thing for me as well. I like it.
That's been
I'm
since I've been
sorry.
young.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah, but I told him, I go, some of these guys don't smile. Like, I'm not swiping on you if you're not smiling because I don't even know if you have teeth.
Yeah, because they need some Invisalign work and shit. What were you going to say about me? You're about to say something.
Something about teeth. We were talking
You were
about
talking about
teeth.
teeth, and you were like,
You're just like, I don't know, you don't give a shit.
Well, I would
well, it's not
hope.
the end all be all, but like, you know, if you got one tooth out of place and you've got a freaking hot ass big boobs and you're beautiful, I can look the other way.
They make, there's dentists.
I'm like, I'll hook you up. You're that hot?
Yeah.
All I got to do is make a couple tweaks. Within a year, man, you're going to have a
Well,
fat
and
set of chiclets.
So this is another funny, really quickly. I feel like dudes always are more about the body than the face, which is kind of weird to me. I think most chicks would rather have a good-looking face and an okay body than a hot body and an okay face. Here's the thing. You can always change somebody's body. I am living proof of this. You can't always change somebody's face.
No.
So, I mean, yeah, with a shit ton of plastic surgery and yada yada, but I'm talking like minimal uh cost. You can change somebody's body,
Sure,
just
sure.
take them to the gym, put them on a diet, whatever the case may be. I'm not, and I get it. Like, am I going to date somebody that's like 400 pounds? Probably not.
No.
But like, I would be more apt to like, and I know you say all the dudes are like totally jacked, but I wouldn't be like opposed to dating someone that wasn't totally like muscular or whatever, as long as he was hot, like his face looked good.
Well, too, I mean, it's funny. My swiping has changed over even, I've been divorced 7 years now. Like what I'm swiping on is different. I'm looking now at a woman, she might, great, she's really cute, or she's not, or she's a little thick here, a little thick there, no boobs or whatever. As much as I would look at that, I'm kind of looking and being like, I kind of look at that big, bright smile. Like you're in a picture and you're almost laughing, you're smiling so big.
Right.
I look at that and I'm like, she looks fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? She looks confident.
Do you read their profiles, Mark? Be honest.
I do. I read their profiles. Okay. Hold on. I swipe first. And then if they've swiped me, then I read their profiles.
Wow.
Oh.
Because I just look at the girl, I look at
read.
some pictures and I'm like, yeah, you're hot. And then when she starts to chat and it's like, once I get to the profile and it's like, oh, fucking hell no. There's no way. Drink? Never. Christian values, not going to happen.
Yeah.
And not that I'm against someone with Christian values or
You're
like
just not a
devout
good match.
Christian. I'm like, yeah, you don't drink and we're going to church every Sunday and God is your one true God. I'm like, this is going south fast.
Right.
There's no hope for this to work
You're not
out.
walking into church before it burns.
No.
So.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, no, it's just not going to work. Yeah.
No, well, and so, okay.
I have no problem with it, but I just know there's no way. Like
you got to read the profile.
you don't-
Like,
yeah, but you're
you've
still
read my
hot.
profile. That's freaking funny, regardless of what I looked like. Like, if I was maybe a 4, which, we all know I'm not a 4.
Duh.
But if I was a 4 and you read my profile, it might bump me up to like a 6.
Well, that's the thing, though. That's like how organic dating is. Like you meet someone and you're like, yeah, they're okay. And then you hang out with them for a while. And that's why everyone meets at work, because they get a chance to be around that
Know
person when they
them,
never would be around that person in weird, awkward, strange situations where you get to come out and your personality comes out. And all of a sudden, I guarantee my personality has made me either hotter or notter.
Right.
In different situations, normally hotter because my personality is so glowing and beautiful and awesome.
For sure.
But, I think there's that. I mean, I met some beautiful women. I'm like, damn, she's fucking hot.
She is a bitch.
And then I get to know them and I'm like, you're kind of boring. We've had lots of women around that you're like, yeah, just put her on the picture and her body like smoking. And then you're like,
She's got no
she's kind of
substance, yeah.
boring.
Well, yeah, there are
like,
regulars that come in. I'm like, he's cute. And I'm like, if he showed up on my Bumble, he would be getting a fast left swipe. But like, I know them now. So yeah, I'm like, he's attractive to me.
And I mean, that's the thing is like, I guarantee I become more attractive to women that I've gotten to know at work. Because there's girls that I wanted to ask out and they weren't showing me the time of day. And a year later, they're like, what are you doing later?
Right.
They got to know me as a person and you're more attracted because whatever.
Right.
Or I just stayed at it because I had to have it and I wouldn't quit until it happened.
I'm not a quitter.
I don't ever quit. I asked a girl out when I was working at Chang's.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to be late. Yeah. We're on Kristen time again.
I asked a girl out for almost 2 years straight before she said she'd go out with me.
What?
Yeah.
Why'd she was she just over you asking? And she's finally like, God, fine, I'll go.
I don't know.
You never asked?
Not really, because we worked together and she was so super cute.
How long did it last? One date?
We only went out like 3 or 4 times.
Okay.
And then I met my ex-wife, so that ended real quick after that.
Okay.
It was like it was the last woman I was with prior to being married.
Oh, wow.
And so well, quite honestly, like I was seeing her, but this was happening with my wife. And I was way more into the opportunity to be with my wife. So like all my other like...
You're like, I've already wasted 2 years on this girl.
Yeah,
She is...
well, and I mean, I was seeing other girls, and that's why she wouldn't go out with me, because I was like hooking up with like every hostess as well.
Okay.
So she was kind of like, you're a player. I'm not going out with you. Fuck you. I'm not going to get into your little web. I'm not playing into it. And finally, like I just on a whim was like, hey, I got 2 tickets to go see Depeche Mode. You like Depeche Mode? Do you want to go? And she's like, oh my God, I love Depeche Mode. She goes, let's totally go. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah, let's go. And I'm like, don't worry, you're not obligated to do anything. I know how you feel. And she's like, no, I totally want to go with you. And then we're driving down to freaking America West Arena to see Depeche Mode. And she looks over and is like, we're having sex tonight, right?
Oh.
And I'm like, yes, we are. That's wonderful to know before the date even gets going.
Oh,
Good
my.
things.
It's nice to be honest,
Yeah.
isn't it?
So it did. Finally, she was like,
I'm just
I
giving
gotta
in.
go. I gotta do it. Like he's been asking
He
me
took
out.
me to a concert, I guess. I
Yeah.
gotta give it up.
You gotta give up. It was a really good time. We hooked up twice, and then that was it. And I'll never forget it. She called me, or I was gonna go help her move some shit. She just moved into an apartment, and my wife, my future wife at the time, was like, "Hey, what are you doing tonight? Do you want to go out?" And we had not hooked up or done anything, really, not even been out together, only just with other groups and whatnot. And I remember she called me and was like, "Hey, I got a lot of shit going on. I'm beat from the move. Like, let's do it another night." And I was headed over there. And I called her up or my wife, and I was like, "Hey, I'm not going out. Like, do you want to meet?"
And then it happened.
And that was it. Like
And
that
you
was
guys got
it. I
together.
remember like we started dating, and Quinn was like, "What the fuck? Are you fucking dating her before this or fucking blah blah blah?" And
So
I'm like,
if
"No."
Quinn would not have been busy that night or beat,
Yep.
little Markie might not be sitting right next to us.
He would definitely look different.
Wow. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
One decision changes your
But that's
whole
the
life.
thing. You know, we talked about online dating, and I truly believe like I've been on a bunch of dates. I've gone out with a bunch of girls since my divorce, and some have been organic. Most of them. Okay. All right. But it just happened.
He's like, wrap it up.
You know what I mean? It just happened.
Always wrap it up.
You know what I mean? It's just organic. When it works, it works. You know, like if you're trying so hard to go on a date, it's not working. Sooner or later, you're just like, this isn't going to work.
That's with anything in life.
The universe is talking.
I'm telling you, when I stress about
I
shit,
would say you'd get that feeling even before like that.
Well, no, what I'm saying though is like, I've been trying to go out with a girl that I met online, and it's just like, one thing or another, and I finally am like, you know what? The
It's not
freaking
meant to be.
universe is letting me know it's not supposed to be.
yeah.
Because if it was supposed to be, we would run into each other out somewhere randomly, and
Right.
then it would be on.
Yeah.
So
Well, and yeah.
trust the universe. That's my
1000%. And stop concentrating on all the negative shit.
Yeah.
Because that's all you're bringing back to you. I am a firm believer of this.
Yeah.
When I stopped stressing about money, it all just kind of came to me. Like, I'm rolling in it. I roll around on my bed and all my money. I'm just kidding.
That's so hot. That sounds like some Wolf of Wall Street, Margot Robbie shit.
No, but just, it'll happen.
So
Put your dick back in your pants. That's my wife, Naomi.
All right.
All right.
I had fun.
Thank you for
I can
coming
talk
on.
a lot, so I could be a guest anytime.
A lot of fun.
We didn't even really go where we were going to with all you irritating customers. We'll get back to you.
We're
This went
looking
in
at the
all kind
positive,
of
though. We
directions.
went irritating people to like people we want to hook up with
Right,
and maybe have
right.
a relationship with.
We gave a lot of advice today.
This was really good.
Ish.
very insightful.
We helped. If anyone will listen, they should.
All right. You guys better blow this episode up because I told them this is going to be their best episode.
Don't worry, I'll clip the shit out of it. It'll be all right.
Okay.
Thank
All
you
right.
all for tuning in.
People love the guests too. So
All right, cool.
it works out.
Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Hopefully, I'll see you again.
Go to like, subscribe,
Don't forget my birthday is next week. Sorry, Markie.
See you all later. You guys have a good night.
Thanks.